Okay, so hi guys, and welcome to English class. Welcome to everyone, and to Janet, Julian, and Min. So I hope your days has been great so far. I hope you've enjoyed the warm weather. We are in summer, so that's great warm weather. Okay, and I like how you look very summery. I was just saying it's nice warm weather, and you look like summer. So hey, Min. It's good to have, yes, warm weather, and it's good to be here learning together. So if you remember, what have we been learning? We've been talking about places. This whole unit has been about places, and we've been learning a lot about languages, places, using our present simple. So we know how, hi, Janet. So we know how to talk about what's happening in the moment just by simply knowing the subject. If it's I, you, he, she, it, we, they, and then the verb. I speak, I play, I like, whatever action. So except for when we talk about someone else, he, she, it, we say he likes, he works, she studies. So we know we have to put an S. And we looked at how do we pronounce that S at the end of the verb. And you have to look back at the last lesson to see that. So then we know how to give directions. Last lesson, we talked about being in a place and telling someone how to get somewhere. So we can say something like, can you please tell me how to get to the bank? Can you please give me directions to the library? Where is the park? How can I get to the museum? And then we know how to tell someone. You have to take this street, go straight down, then turn left, and afterwards continue for 300 meters or for about 10 minutes, and then you will get to the end of the road, take a right. So we know how to give directions as well. So what are we doing this lesson? We're going to be continuing to talk about places. In fact, we're going to be talking about our favorite place, and we're going to write about it. So we're going to look at how do we write about our favorite places. So we'll be doing some writing, and I'll be fixing the English so you can see that. We'll be looking at a bit of grammar. So we need to know when to use a capital letter. So we're going to make sure we have all the rules to understand when do we use a capital letter, a big letter. So for example, at the beginning of the word, we know we always start the sentence with a capital letter, but there are many, many rules. So we're going to talk about all those rules. And then we might get to watch a video at the end of our lesson and just really talking about more places, you know, like mosque and church and park and a playground, shops, hospitals, supermarkets, train station, bus stops. So again, really talking about places and what's in a place and how to write about it and when to use a capital letter. So let's look into that. Let's start. So we're in our book, page 41. Okay, so it says my favorite city. So when you travel to a new place, where can you find information? So usually, the last time that I traveled, I went on YouTube. I just watched travel vlogs. So they call them travel vlogs or travel videos. I also did a bit of Googling to find out some information about the place. I looked at websites that people wrote about their experience. What do you do when you want to go to a new place? Where do you find information about it before you go there? Because you want to prepare for your trip. Maybe YouTube, Google. Yeah, if you want to go to a new place, you look at Google. Yeah. Instagram and TikTok. Oh, yes, exactly. There's little short videos. So yes, now we can see little short videos just from your Instagram account or your TikTok account. And that's good because people are videoing moments in their trip. So we can almost see and imagine what it's like so that we could prepare. When we want to see something, we want to know what it looks like. So we know maybe what to wear, or what are the people doing there, or how much something costs. We want to hear from other people's experience. Okay, so we have Bella Potachokes. I'm not sure how to pronounce her surname. And she writes for a travel website. So she goes to different places and she writes about her experience on a website. Let's read about her favorite city and tick the items that she mentions. So does she talk about the name of her city? Does she talk about good places to visit? Her favorite time of the year? So is it Christmas, New Year? Is it summer, winter, month? Does she talk about places to meet friends? Does she talk about her favorite cafes and restaurants? Does she talk about good ways to travel around the city? Is it by bus, train, car? Okay, so let's read and we'll read together so you can hear the pronunciation and everything, and then we will answer these questions. So this is her travel blog. So we're going to imagine this is her website, and it looks like her title is Why I Love Moscow. So we're in Russia, right? Why I Love Moscow. So this is what she wrote. So let's read it together. I'll make it a little bit bigger. A bit bigger. Okay, so we can really see the English. So my favorite place, you can repeat, in Russia is Red Square in Moscow, because there are interesting museums and art galleries. I also like other parts of Moscow. For example, Krasnaya Park is great. On Saturdays in summer, I meet friends there in the afternoon. We relax and play sport, and it's free. I also love the winter in Moscow. December is my favorite month because the snow is beautiful and we go ice skating. Okay, so let's take a look. So we can see it's a paragraph. It tells us, the title tells us what's her favorite city, Moscow. And it looks like she talks about many places. I can see that there's times of the year. She says summer, winter. She says what you can do if it's free. And she also uses adjectives. Remember, we looked at adjectives. How do we describe something? So the first adjective is interesting. Then she says it's free. That's an adjective. Then she says beautiful. The snow is beautiful. That's an adjective. So she's also using adjectives to show how she thinks about the place. And we need to know that, just take notice that this is written in the British English, which is what we use in Australia. So if you look at the word favorite here at the end, it's the O-U-R. So that's the British or the Australian spelling. If you're learning American English, you would put O-R. But we're here in Australia, so O-U-R. So make sure you take notice of that, because you might read something and it's written by an American person. So you need to be able to know that when you write, because you are in Australia, you should be writing using the British English or the Australian English. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the questions. We're going to go back. It says the name of her city. Yes, Moscow. Does she tell you about good places to visit? Yeah. Museums, Red Square, art galleries, the parks, ice skating. That's a place. Yeah. Okay. Her favorite time of the year. December. She clearly says December is my favorite month. That's the time that she likes. Not summer, not the beginning of the year. She likes the end of the year, December. She told you what time it's good to go there. Well, for her, that's her favorite because she could do ice skating. Does she tell you about places to meet friends? Yeah. She says, on Saturdays in the summer, I meet friends there in the afternoon, the park, the Krasnaya Presna Park. I might be saying that wrong, but yeah, the park. Yeah, that's where she meet friends. Does she tell you about her favorite cafes and restaurants? No, we didn't. She didn't mention where's her favorite restaurant or cafe. No. So sometimes when you go to a place, you might want to say that because you're like, this place had amazing food. It was very local. It was good service. So sometimes it's important to say, yeah, especially if you find something interesting there. Does she tell you about the good ways to travel around the city? I don't think so. No, I didn't hear her say, how can I go somewhere? Bus, tram, ride a bicycle, catch a ferry, catch a cable car. No, she didn't really tell me how to go to different places. But again, you know, when you write about a favorite place, it depends for what information you want to say. But it's also good to try and give as much details of the place and if it's important. It's not always important to say that. Okay, good. Let's look at capital letters. So as I said, we're going to learn how to use capital letters. So there's more than just one rule, which is at the start of the very sentence. Yes, that's one of the rules, but there's many, many more. So if I look here, when to use capital letters. So we have capital letters at the start of a sentence. That's probably very, very common. You might, it's probably the first rule that you always learn. Anytime you make a sentence, the first letter is a capital letter. If you're not sure what capital letter means, it's like this, not this one. So that's a small letter. A capital letter is this one. So at the start of a sentence, also for pronoun I. So when you say anytime, hi Gustavo, welcome. So you use it anytime you write I, as in when you're speaking about yourself, you have to capitalize the I. So if you want to say, I love Paris, I went to Paris last year, my mother and I went there. So anytime you say I, you must capitalize them. When we write the names of people, so if I say, this is Maria, Maria is my closest friend, anytime I write Maria, I must have a capital letter. The cities. I live in Adelaide. Adelaide is an amazing city. It's nice and small. I need to capitalize the word Adelaide, the city. And places, only if it's the name of the place. For example, Botanic Gardens. All of it needs to be capitalized because that's the whole name of the place. Botanic Gardens. Yes, it is a garden. It's a area of garden with flowers and whatever, but it's the name of the place. Could be the name of the restaurant. Last week I went to, I'm just going to make this up, Cafe Buongiorno, an Italian restaurant. I need to capitalize the first letters of all the title in the name. That's a restaurant. So I wrote the name and I need to capitalize the C and also make the B a capital letter. Countries. So we know Australia, Colombia, Brazil. Hey, Talo. We need to capitalize. Doesn't matter if it's in the middle of a sentence or at the start. Anytime I write the name of a country, Brazil, Australia, I need to make sure that the first letter is a capital letter. Nationalities. So remember a couple of lessons ago, we looked at nationalities. So I am Australian, he is Brazilian, she is Colombian. So I need to Colombian, make sure Australian. So make sure it's capitalized. Languages. I speak English. English is my first language. English is the most spoken language in the world. So anytime I write that word, that language, I need to capitalize it. My second language is Spanish, for example. I'm just making it up. So anytime I speak about languages, I need to capitalize it. The names of streets. So I live on, I'm just making this up, I live on Dulwich Street. So you need to capitalize not just the name of the street, but also the word street. So I'm just making this up. My address is 120 Dulwich Street. And even the suburb, I'm just making it up, Denard or McGill. So you can see that's an address. I need to capitalize the name of the street, the word street or road. Doesn't matter if it's Dulwich Road, Dulwich Street, Dulwich Lane, Dulwich Court. Sometimes there's different words. That needs to be a capital, comma, and then the suburb, the area that I live in. So it needs to be capital. We also need to capitalize days of the week. So if I say, I will see you on Monday, today is Wednesday. So always in my sentences, I need to capitalize the day, even if it's in the middle of a sentence. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they need to be capital. And the months. I was born in July. My favorite month is, I'm just making this up, my favorite month is March. So again, there you go. You were born in March. I was July. So I need to capitalize the first letter of that month anytime, even if the word is in the middle of a sentence. That's really important. And the last one, whenever you write about God, it's appropriate to put a capital letter. So anytime you use that word, you should capitalize the word God. Same as like when you write, Jesus Christ, same thing. Or, the Messiah, whatever. So you need to capitalize those words. Okay, so that's when we use capital letters. So really simple rules, yeah? Okay, so make sure capital letters. How about when not to use capital letters? Well, you don't put it for parts of the day. For example, midday, you don't need it. Midnight, morning, afternoon, night. These words, which are part of the day, they tell you which time of the day, you do not capitalize them. Seasons. So for example, summer, winter, spring, autumn. If you remember in our reading when she writes, I also love the winter in Moscow. So winter is not capitalized. You do not capitalize. Hi, Victor, welcome. You do not capitalize the names of the season. Okay, so autumn, spring. Now autumn, because in Australia and British, we say autumn. Americans will say fall, F-A-W. So you'll read it, but you need to know that as you live in Australia or you want to speak the British Australian English, we say autumn. Okay, so any questions? That should be really simple. When to use a capital letter and when not to use a capital letter. So it's not just at the start of a sentence, but there's all these other rules. Okay, so let's get back into our book. We have a description by a student. They have written, and we need to see if they've used their capital letters correctly. So before I read it, I'll give you an opportunity to read it. I'll give you 2 minutes, read it, and see where they should put the capital letter. So the first one, they did it for us. Because the word I, we need to capitalize it, even if it's I'm or I'll, like I will, or whatever, I need to capitalize A. And Australia, we know it's the name of a country. That should be capital. So we need to make that a capital A. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes to have a read of it and make sure the rules are here on the side when to put the capital letter. And we'll come back and then check it. Okay, let's have a look. So you remember we're reading this paragraph that a student wrote, and we want to make sure we're putting the capital letter in the right place. So they did the first one for us. I'm from Australia, and I is capital. Make sure we capitalize them, because we know that anytime we say I, even if it's in the middle of a sentence, we need to capitalize it. So, and I love Sydney. What's wrong with Sydney? Capital, because it's a city. So make sure Sydney. There, start of a sentence, because even if you have an exclamation mark or a question mark or a full stop, the next letter must be a capital. So there, make sure that's a capital. There are over 4 million people here, but it's never crowded. That's, yes. So again, we need to capitalize that's. So that needs to be a capital T. That's because there's a harbor with the famous Sydney Opera House. Now that's the name of a monument, a location, a place. So it all needs to be capitalized. Sydney, not just the first word, Opera House. So make sure the S for the Sydney, the O for the opera, and the H, it's the name of the place, the Sydney Opera House. And we say it in one sound, Sydney Opera House. So with the famous Sydney Opera House, and there are beautiful beaches on, yes, it's the start of a sentence. So on needs to be capital. On Saturdays, it's a day of a week. On Saturdays, yeah, did anyone forget that? We need to capitalize I. Anytime I say I, must be a capital I. I go with my friends to Narrabeen Beach. It's the name of the beach. So not just Narrabeen, but the word beach, because that's the name of the place, Narrabeen Beach, Glenelg Beach, Henley Beach. They all need to be capital. It's, yep, start of a sentence. So capital I, it's quiet and relaxed. In, capital I, because it's the start of a sentence. So that's here. I, in the evening, we go to the city center. There, yep, start of a sentence. So make sure there is capital, the T, are over 3,000 restaurants. Full stop. My needs to be capital. Favorite, my favorites are Japanese. Yes, it's a nationality. Remember, we need to capitalize. So if I say I like Brazilian food, I like Colombian food, it must be a capital. It's a nationality. Japanese and Lebanese. Lebanese needs to be capital. Okay, so now, yes. Yes. No, it's not a name of a place. It's like saying garden, park. Yes. It's a, Yes. And it's called the Sydney Opera House. And you're right, the harbour is just like saying it's a park, it's a beach, like it's a noun. It's not a name of a place. So when I say words like garden, harbour, school, they're not capital, they're just nouns. We don't capitalize them unless it's the name of the harbour. So, oh, I love walking on the Sydney Opera Harbour. Maybe pretend that's the name of it. Then I have to capitalize because that's the name of that harbour. But if it's just a harbour, it's like saying the garden. I like gardens. I don't capitalize that word unless I talk about a particular garden. I love the Japanese gardens or the botanic gardens. That's a name of the gardens. That's okay. Okay, so let's read it together and then we will write our own writing. So let's read it. I'll make it big so we can see. So remember, we're going to read it with the correct grammar. Actually, I'm going to put the correct grammar here. Let's read it with the proper correct grammar. Okay, so it's I'm from Australia. So you can repeat, I'm from Australia and I love Sydney. There are over 4 million people here, but it's never crowded. That's because there's a harbour with the famous Sydney Opera House, and there are beautiful beaches. On Saturday, I go with my friends to Narrabeen Beach. It's quiet and relaxed. In the evening, we go to the city centre. Yeah. So we in Australia, we say this is so it's the city centre. The city centre. Yeah, the city centre for proper pronunciation, or the city centre. You'll hear it like that in English. There are over 3,000 restaurants. My favorites are Japanese and Lebanese. Okay, good. So somebody told us about their favorite place. Now we are going to write about our favorite place and we're going to upload it here onto Facebook. So I'll make a post and you can add an image. Okay, so the post is, you're going to write, now remember, it's not about the city. It's about a place in the city. Remember, you can talk about a church, a museum, a supermarket, a mall, a marketplace, a park. So write about your favorite city or town. So you're talking about the city, but then a place in the city. So you can talk, sorry, not about places, about your favorite city. So you can talk about many places. Also try and add, what time is it good to go in the year? Is it good to go at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the year? Because that's summer in Europe. You can also write about how can I get around? Is it easy to just take a taxi everywhere? Maybe it's just very cheap, catch a taxi. You can go from one location to another. And maybe you can add what are good places to visit? What's your favorite cafe? What are good ways? Yeah. So this could be a place, not just your city where you're from. Maybe you went there for your honeymoon or you just went for a holiday. So you can write it. Okay, so we're gonna write, upload it, and we will check the English. Okay, so for me, if I was gonna write, I would say write about your favorite city or town. So my favorite city would be my favorite city would be, I might just say Italy, for example. So if I'm going to say Italy, I need to pick a place in Italy. So Milan, my favorite, actually Florence. Sorry, let me go to Florence. Okay, so I picked one place. Florence is my favorite city. And then I'm going to talk about places in the city. There is a beautiful cathedral of Santa Maria di Fiore. I can talk about what it looks like. You can go there to see some beautiful services for the Christians. There's also a beautiful place, a gallery. You go to this gallery to see a lot of historic things. I might then also say it's also best to go in the middle of the year when that's their summer. And you can walk the beautiful streets, see so many beautiful restaurants on the streets. You can see the statue of David also in Florence, which is a very important part for remembering the artistic qualities that one of a very Italian native person had at one time in history. So that maybe I could write something like that. So one city, but then something that's in that city. So for example, I picked Italy, Florence. So, and then I talked about many things in there, what you can do, yeah, and use adjectives. Okay, so we'll upload them and then we'll read them in a moment. Okay, so we're writing about your favorite city or town, and we have some comments. And images. So yes, always add your image. It's good for us to have a photo as well to look at. So Adriano says, so I can see it's a little bit short. Yeah, try and write, some people are writing very short sentences. Try and write similar to what we read about the woman that wrote about Moscow. So try and write 6, 7, 8 sentences. There's nothing to do, and that's it. Really? No, okay. If you don't, yeah. So the first mistake, what did I notice? The way he spelled favorite. That's the American way, which I know that's maybe the way that you learned, but because we are in Australia, let's practice writing the Australian one. So my favorite city in the world is São Bento do Sapucaí. Good, full stop. And he put capital letters for all the name of the city, the place. The best time of year to visit is in summer, full stop. Good. So nice sentence. Every sentence has one information. So it tells me, the first sentence told me which place. The second sentence told me when to go. To see beautiful waterfalls, go hiking, and then go to great restaurants for lunch. You can't really start a sentence like that. So you could say, some of my favorite things to do. So some of my favorite, or some interesting things to do while here is to see beautiful waterfalls, go hiking, and eating at great restaurants for lunch. And eating, I might put lunch, so I'm connecting words that are more closer together, and eating lunch at great restaurants. Actually, no, I liked your sentence. And eating at great restaurants for lunch. So my favorite city in the world is, the best time of year to visit is in summer. Some interesting things to do while here. So when you're here, some interesting things to do while here are, sorry, plural, because we're talking about many things, are to see beautiful waterfalls, go hiking, and eating at great restaurants for lunch. Wow, what an amazing, and that's obviously why you're hiking. Is it a photo you took or just? Ah, okay, so good. Wow. How amazing. What a beautiful, there we go. We can see the photo a little bit better. I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't show me the photo, but yeah, that's so beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see. Amaralaris. Little bit small. I might, if you can add more information. So I'll go to Oscar. Oh, how beautiful. So we have my favorite again. So we're going to use the Australian side. My favorite place in Colombia is the Chicamaca Canyon National Park. Good. It's a name of a place. So all Chicamocha. So my favorite place in Colombia is the Chicamocha Canyon National Park because it has a beautiful view. Only one view? Because when we talk about views, it's because you can see it from many different, points. So I might say because it has beautiful views, shops, a museum of the indigenous people. Yes. A museum showing the indigenous people's lives. Because are we going to see people there, indigenous people there, or the history? Yes, because I think are we going to watch the people, indigenous people in the museum? So sometimes it's very careful to say it's not a museum of indigenous people, because that means they're just going to stand a lot of indigenous people in this museum just standing there. I'm going to watch them. So maybe a museum showing the indigenous people's, or a museum showing the history of the indigenous people. Yeah, remember people is not plural. That is the plural. There's no S, I mean. So I'll just go back a bit because it has beautiful views. We always say something, oh wow, this room has beautiful view. Like it's especially of this place, you're seeing many different points of views. Shops, a museum showing the history of the indigenous people, extreme sports, typical food. I notice you use this word a lot. I think it's more common, we say local food. Local food and a tour through the canyon. Yes, because it has a tour through the canyon. You can go on any day of the year. Exactly. You can visit. Might say visit, more of a, yeah, you can visit. We don't need to say on. You can visit any day of the year. Yeah, perfect. My favorite place in Colombia is this. You said many beautiful things to see, and when to visit. So good. Thank you for sharing that. And is that you guys at the lookout of this place? Yeah. So a lookout is a point, because it is a canyon, so you can just see everything. That's so beautiful. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Juanita. So back to you guys have the best photos. Okay, favorite. My favorite place in Paris is Disneyland. I love the emojis again because it's an incredible place and you can have fun. Yeah. I might not capitalize because it's really a word in the middle of a sentence. So my favorite place in Paris is Disneyland because it's an incredible place. I might say where you can have fun. You can see the Disney movie themed attractions. You can climb the roller coaster. We don't climb. You can, what we do is you can ride. Actually, we say you can ride on the roller coasters. We ride on them. Same like how you ride a horse. I know you ride a roller coaster apparently because it's a ride, but that's the action that we do. Like, oh, let's ride that one. Which ride do you want to go on next? It's both a noun and a verb. And we really, when we talk about a roller coaster, we ride it. What ride do you want to go on next? I want to ride that one. Or go. I want to go on that one. But this was nice. You can ride on the roller coasters and watch dance shows and C, you need another verb here, and C, artificial games. You can, I need an action, main action. You can visit. Yes, so can is not a main verb. So the main verb is visit. Can is just showing you that if you want, like you can visit between September and October since the weather is fantastic in these months. I don't think can. I think you're trying to push it more. Not like if you want to. You're trying to push like you should. You must visit, maybe you must visit between September and October since the weather is fantastic in these months. So can was a little bit like, you know, if you want to, but you're really pushing it. You're saying you must come here. You should. This is the best time in this time. So you should. You must visit. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that. I think I sent it back. I think you do have the reply. I don't know what happened. Okay, good. Next one. Lewis, a little bit too short. You're gonna have to write more. Okay, look at Juanita's one. It should be like this. Sebastian, a little bit short. We'll go to Min. So Min, who's online with us. I like Hong Kong. Now, what is Hong Kong? It's a city, so it needs to be capitalized. So we need to capitalize Hong Kong. I like Hong Kong. Now you can't, it's a little bit of a short sentence. Can you see how that's a very short sentence? In English, we don't really like to use short sentences. I mean, it's a proper sentence. I like Hong Kong. But when you're writing, you don't really want to be using short sentences. So what you can do is take off the full stop. I like Hong Kong because I grew up in this city. So that's perfect now. So try not to make short sentences. Yes, we do it in speaking, but really in writing, we try not to. So I like Hong Kong because I grew up in this city or because I grew up there. I might just show you a different English because I grew up instead of repeating the name of the city because I grew up there. It is a city that is easy to find a job. Yeah, so it is a city that is easy for anyone to find a job. Although the housing is a bit small and expensive, good, the people of Hong Kong, I might just HK capital, are very honest. I like that. Good sentence. So although she kind of said a negative, that's why she used although, but then she made it a positive. So although, yes, the housing is a bit small and expensive, but the people of Hong Kong are very honest. It is known as the sleepless city. I didn't know that. Very interesting. And I like how you use the quotation mark because when we show what something is known as or what people talk about it, we use that. It is known as the sleepless city because if you want to eat at night, it is easy to find a restaurant at 3 a.m. Yeah, I might say it is known as the sleepless city because if you want to eat, no matter the time, you will find something. You will find something open. So I like that a bit more. So because if you want to eat, no matter the time, doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., you will find something open. That's beautiful. Good. Thank you for sharing that, Min. Okay, I'll just refresh. So I hope some people, Gustavo, emoji, is very excited about Kali. I can see how excited you are. The best city then I've ever known that. I think you mean that. I've ever known is Kali. Good. Remember, we use the verb know after we know a place. We don't say, oh, I wish I could go to Italy. I want to know it. No, you talk about, oh, yes, I went to Italy. I know it very well. I know how to the place. So the best city that I've ever known, now he's saying in his whole life that I've ever known is Cali. Full stop. I was. So remember we used the verb to be to talk about where we were born, our age, our name, our location. So I was born there. It's pretty strange to put a comma. So I might say, I was born there and my family lives there. And my family lives there. So I was born there and my family still lives there. I might say still because you've moved away, but you're saying, but my family still lives there. So I was born there, and my family still lives there. There are many awesome places to visit. We don't say for visiting, we say to visit. So I'm going to change that to the to visit. The people are warm and friendly. Good. So this is a nice, although it's a little bit short, but it's a good, beautiful sentence. The people are warm and friendly. Everyone should visit the most beautiful country, the most beautiful city, because you said Cali. So I'll be careful to say city here. Everyone should visit the most beautiful city in the world. Cali. Good. I like how you did comma, because we know when we put a place, a city, we always do comma and then we say the city. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Dickerson. Beautiful place on the picture. Today, talk about, you have to have a subject. You have to have a subject. Like I, yeah. So today I will talk about Williamstad, Croatia. Okay. Which is in which country? Is that a country or a city? So sorry, which is this, a city or a city? And what's the name of the country? Like this? Oh, okay, I see. So this is the city and this is the country. So why did I get confused? Because you got to separate the city, comma, and then the name of the country. So that's why for people that are not familiar with these places, that's how they know that this is a city and that's the country. Because I thought that was one city, name of a city. I didn't know. So today I will talk about Williamstad. How do I say it? Kuraza. And you put the flag there. That's interesting. Is this in Europe or where? Caribbean. The Caribbean? No? In South America. Yeah, but this is the name of the country? Oh, okay, it must be well. I've never heard of that. I might just put in the Caribbean. Is it in the Caribbean? Oh, I don't know how to spell that one. In the Caribbeans. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Today I'll talk about Williamstad, Corazzo in the Caribbean. There, I met the kindest people. I might put full stop. So I noticed this is very common where maybe in Spanish or Portuguese, you say there, I did this. We don't really start our sentences like that in English. We say something like, this is where I met the kindest people ever. Might put something. So we kind of have a different way of starting our sentence in English. We don't really just say there, I did this. We say this is where I met the kindest people ever. Also, the city center. I don't need also. I might just start a new sentence. The city center is beautiful with different colors. So again, using the Australian spelling, not the American. The city center is beautiful with different colors everywhere. Everywhere. Like if I just look everywhere, it's all colorful. Or the city center is beautiful and colorful. Actually, I might say and colorful. The Koningen Emmaburg, sorry if I mispronounced that, is emblematic and you have to visit it. Good. I like that you say that. So this is really important to that country. And you have to visit it. In Williamstad, there is food with lots of Caribbean flavors. Again, so we need the Australian spelling. How do you know? Anytime you have a word that ends in an OR, you change it to OUR. So in Williamstad, there is, again, we don't really use this structure. We say, we start with what we're talking about first. So the food here, I don't need to repeat the name of the place. The food here has lots of Caribbean flavors. I would definitely return. My last favorite visit. Yeah, I would definitely return. I would say my last trip, right? I would definitely return to the place that remains my last favorite trip. Might say trip here. So I would definitely return to the place that remains as my favorite, as my last favorite trip. Beautiful. Yes.
I know it's your favorite.
Oh, I know.
Writing here.
Yes. That's okay. I'll show you where to write it. You can write it. Okay, so we have Jessica, a little bit short, but that's fine. I don't know many cities, but the ones I visited are, so it looks like you got but the ones that I visited and are my favorite, again, we've got to put the Australian spelling, are Arraial do Cabo and this one in Brazil. Good, but you need to give us more details. So I don't know many cities. Again, we don't know cities. I haven't been. So I haven't been to many cities, but the ones that I visited and are my favorite are this place and this place in Brazil. Good, but you need to continue it, Jessica. Tell us, which places do I go to there? Is there your favorite restaurant, your favorite park, your favorite monument? So a little bit more detail. You can copy mine and then continue writing for that. Okay, Amalaris, still a little bit short. Did I not refresh? Maybe I'll quickly refresh. Yes, so you can add more detail. Places in the city. Is there a favorite church that you like there, or a favorite restaurant, or a beach? What, like, tell me more details. But good. Amalaris, still a little bit short. Amalaris? Yes, you must write more. So more. Yeah. Nature, yes. Okay, I'll go to Santiago. Beautiful picture. I think I know where that is. So my favorite, what's wrong with that word? We need the Australian spelling. My favorite city is Adelaide in Australia because it is a place very big for me. Yeah, because it is a place that is big for me compared to my hometown, or you could say my birth town. So that's actually a way to say where you were born, your birth town or your hometown. Really, we say hometown, but Santiago's not here, birth town. So my favorite city is Adelaide in Australia because it is a place that is huge. Might go for the word huge just to make the English a little bit, especially in writing, we want to use other words instead of more casual words. So it is a place that is huge. We don't really need to say, you could say compared to my birth town. It is a city, relax. Yeah, it's a city, because the city's not relaxing. We relax when we go it. So it is a city where one, that just means a person, might just put where a person can relax. Where a person can relax, and it is a relaxing and interesting city. Or you could say that. I might put it is a, so using the adjectives before the noun, it is a relaxing and interesting city. It have, so if it's we say there are many beaches which, so when I want to talk about the noun and I'm going to give more information, there are many beaches which are beautiful, but the water, yeah, I know, this is the thing I don't like about Adelaide, but unfortunately, that's a very common word, but unfortunately, when you're trying to say a negative thing, so it's beautiful, but unfortunately, the waters are very cold. Yeah, the sea, but unfortunately, the sea is very cold. It has rivers that are pretty. Yeah, so again, we use another way. We say the rivers in this city are pretty. We don't really say the rivers are pretty. We say are pretty nice to look at, are pretty nice. Yeah, so the rivers in this city are nice. It has places green. Yeah. The many places, many areas actually, because it's many areas are green with interesting animals. With, again, put your adjective in front of the noun, with interesting, local, native animals, maybe. For example, kangaroos, koalas, etc. Good. So after etc., when we write it in a short way, we put a dot and no full stop or comma before it. So, for example, koalas, kangaroos, koalas, etc. Adelaide is, for me, a city that has it all. It is very beautiful. That's beautiful for Adelaide. So I'll just read that. My favorite city is Adelaide in Australia because it is a place that is huge compared to my birth town. It is a relaxing and interesting city. There are many beaches, which are beautiful, but unfortunately the sea is very cold. The rivers in this city are nice. Many areas are green with interesting native animals. For example, we put a comma after, for example, kangaroos. We don't need to capitalize the names of animals. So remember, we didn't learn that rule. So you don't capitalize the names of animals. For example, kangaroos, koalas, etc. Adelaide is, for me, a city that has it all. That means that there's everything in this city. It has it all. It is very beautiful. Oh, nice. I don't know where Santiago. Did he leave? But very nice writing. Okay, Anna, with a beautiful picture in Ecuador. My favorite place, so make sure you're spelling favorite correctly, in Ecuador is the city of Cuenca? Cuenca. Since it has a cool climate, European architecture, traditional neighborhoods. So again, just the Australian spelling. So make sure you check that word. Very colorful. Again, we need to put the Australian spelling. Very colorful squares and markets. Also the food. Yeah, it's a very my favorite place in Ecuador is the city of Suanta, since it has a cool climate, European architecture, traditional neighborhoods, very colorful squares and markets, and food. And traditional local food, maybe. And traditional local food. Good, since it has a cool climate. So you showed us what you love about it. Nice temperature, European architecture, that's beautiful, traditional neighborhood, very colorful squares and markets, and traditional local food. Good, beautiful. And I can see, wow, what's this dance called? Is it just traditional Ecuador dance? Ah, okay, yes. So beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Thanks for sharing. Let's see what we have next. So we'll do a few more because we want to move. Lewis, you're not going to add. It's very short. Sebastian, a little bit short, but I'll check it. So Lewis, you need to add, and you need to add more information. So my favorite city is Madrid, comma. So remember, always city, comma, country is Madrid, Spain. It is a beautiful city with magnificent. We're going to use the Australian spelling. I know that means magnificent. Right? Magnificent history. I am like so we don't want to give what we like. The transportation system, is it the train and metro? What's this one? On the metro? Yeah. The transportation system for the train and metro are very good. Is that right? Are very good. Yeah. So Sebastian is, sorry, yes, Sebastian. So is that what you're trying to say? That the transportation system in this place are very good? Yeah. So train and metro are very good. Also, the variety of restaurants, because he's saying many, and the variety of restaurants and food, what? Are amazing. So you need to add your adjectives. Okay, so we don't want to forget to add the adjectives. So I'll read that again. My favorite city is Madrid, comma, Spain. It is a beautiful city with magnificent history. The transportation system for the train and metro are very good. Also, the variety of restaurants and food are amazing. Can I say street food? Because restaurants is already food. Street food? Do they have a lot of street food? Spain? Yeah. Restaurants and food, because food restaurants is food. So restaurants, and you have to say something else, and beaches. Because and you're talking about something else, like restaurants and what? Beaches. You could just leave it there. And also the variety of restaurants are amazing. Yeah. Tourist places or squares, and squares are amazing. Good. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Please add a photo. I love to see. Spain is one of my, I'd love to visit this place one day. Okay, Brian. I think I already did. No, I didn't. Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you can talk about an island. Yeah. Okay. Amazing pictures. Okay, Brian says, my favorite. So you have to remember, write it like this. My favorite city is Bogota, Colombia. Good, comma, after the city, comma, and then country. We try not to start a sentence with because. It's not, I know we say it in speaking, but we try not to write it that way. And the way they do it is just take off the full stop and just connect it. So my favorite city is Bogota, Colombia, because there are many restaurants and you can try different types of food, I think, types of food. Is that right? I can Chinese, this, whatever, yeah. It has touristic places such as, because we're writing, I want to give you another word for writing. Instead of like, say such as. It has touristic places such as Monserrate. This is a volcano. And on the top, this is a volcano. And on the top, there is a church. This is a volcano which has a church on the top. Is it not dangerous, or it doesn't, many years doesn't, the first picture? Amazing. Oh my God. Wow. So I like that. It has touristic places. This, it has tourist places such as Monserrate. This is a volcano which has a church on the top. This is a volcano, yeah, which has a church on the top. I went there. So to not repeat the name of the place, I went there a few times because you have to climb a lot of stairs. When you say because, you're showing me I went there a few times because my grandmother lives there. I went there a few times because I live close by. So you have to show me when you said because, it's not because you have to climb a lot of stairs. You can't say because there's only why did you go there many times. So why did you go there many times? Yeah.
A little time.
So I went there. Okay, so only a few times. Yeah, so you went more than one. Yeah, but you said because. So you want to tell me why? Why did you go there?
Because you can't you not climbing many stairs.
No. When you say because, it's like saying because my favorite restaurant is there, because I went to go pray many times, because you can't say because unless you want to give a reason. Why did you go there? Not the stairs, or no, why did you go there? I'm going to take off because you're not yeah. So I went there only a few times. Another place that I like is Simon Bolivar Park. Good. Name of a place. We capitalize it. This park is very large and you can go to relax with your friends or exercise in a natural environment. Yeah. Or exercise. We say in nature, or just you can go there to relax with your friends or exercise in nature. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that. And the river. This is the park. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful river.
Yeah.
It would have been nice. Another place that I like is this park. This park is very large. You should say it's very large with a river running through it. Because the river goes in the park, yeah? So we say with a river running through it. I might just, because it's a long sentence, put a full stop, start a new sentence. You can go here to relax with your friends or exercise in nature. That would be nice. Okay, thank you for sharing that. I think, yes. Okay, let me refresh. So we'll do one more because we don't have time. We want to move. Do one more. Let's look at Lewis. I'll do this one as well. So Yaneth says, amazing picture. So my favorite place is the Sinew River Park. Good name of a place, couple of letters. In my city, Monteria, Colombia. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. You can't just put a comma. It is beautiful and has a lot of nature and fauna. It is the largest park in Latin America. Wow, did you guys know that? The largest park in Latin America is in Colombia. Beautiful. My favorite place is this park. My favorite place is the Sinew River Park, which is in my city, Monteria, Colombia. It is beautiful and has a lot of nature and fauna. It is the largest park in Latin America. Good. Thank you for sharing that. So we said Lewis. I haven't been here. Wow. What an amazing picture. So my favorite, again, use the Australian spelling with the O-U-R. My favorite place in Australia is an island called Rottnest Island in Western Australia. So you can put WA, we know that means in Western Australia. Or just to change it a little bit, in the west part of the land. In that place, we don't really say in that place. We say like here, there are many beautiful animals. Again, you can't have a comma if there's a subject. You can tell that that's not connecting the sentence correctly. Here, there are many beautiful animals, comma, pink lagoons, and pink lagoons, full stop. So each sentence gives me some information. The seawater is very clear, full stop. This place has beautiful beaches and small mountains. I cycled around the entire island, but you had to take a boat from the capital city, comma, Perth, to the island. Full stop. New sentence, the journey. Remember, every sentence, one information. So full stop. The journey took me 30 minutes by boat. But how long did it take you to cycle around the whole island? How long to ride the whole island?
4 hours.
Wow, you should have added that, and 4 hours to cycle around the island. Good. Okay, so I'll just reread that. My favorite place in Australia is an island called Rottnest Island. We can see that he capitalized the name of a place, so that's good, in the west part of Australia. Or actually, I might just make it shorter, in Western Australia. Here, there are many beautiful animals and pink lagoons. The sea water is very clear. Now, because this sentence here, this place has beautiful beaches and mountains, I might connect this sentence to up here. This place has beautiful beaches, small mountains, many beautiful animals, and pink lagoons. Can you see how I put two of your sentences together? So you had two different sentences. One sentence says there's beaches and animals. Another one says there's this and that. I just put it together. Yeah, you'll see. Have a look at the difference. This place has beautiful beaches, small mountains, many beautiful animals, and pink lagoons. The seawater is very clear. I cycled around the entire island, but you had to take a boat from the capital city, Perth, to the island. The journey took me 30 minutes by boat. The boat The boat, might just add that here. The boat journey took me 30 minutes. And it took me 4 hours to cycle around the whole, just to give you another word for entire, the whole island. Wow, 4 hours. Yeah. Yeah. Ah,
Only in this island.
you should
It's
write
no
that. Let
plan,
me
no
just
swimming, no
translate.
nothing.
No? Okay. So before you said about this island, many beautiful animals and pink lagoons. The seawater is clear. The native animal, which can only be found on this island, is the calling. That's it. That's the name, is the calling. So is it like this big?
It's a little bit. It's similar
wow.
as the babies.
Really? Yeah, how cute. The pouch.
Yes.
That's so cute. It looks like a big rat. Or like a, oh, it's big.
No, no, it's small.
No, that's big. I thought like this on the picture.
Yeah, eyes.
But yeah, like this. That's so funny. That's so cute. That picture. Selfie with the quolling. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that's nice. You should add that photo as well. That photo, yeah. So I added a sentence because Lewis just told us an important part of this island. So remember, when you're writing, don't forget to add interesting things. Like he just told me, the native animal, which can only be found on this island. So nowhere else in all of Australia. It can only be found on this island is the calling. You should add that picture. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that, Lois. Okay, so let's get back into our textbook. We're looking at a place. It's called Crowley Road. So it says here, the city of Oxford in England. So now we are in England. Welcome to England. What can we see in the photos? Yeah, it looks like there's a square. Maybe a church somewhere. Yeah. What about, let's use our adjectives. Is it clean? Yeah. Is it crowded? No. Looks pretty quiet. Yeah. It's pretty quiet, we say. You could say it's not busy, it's quiet, it's clean, it's empty. Yes, it's empty. It's very sunny. It's a lot of historic buildings. It's beautiful. Old architecture. Yeah, a lot of old architecture or historic architecture. Yeah. Good. It looks very beautiful, right? Very nice. Yeah. So, so you remember, now we know how to ask for directions. So let's imagine that we are in this place. Okay, let's ask some questions. So imagine that we are tourists. This is maybe here. We want to stop someone and ask them how to get somewhere. How would you say, what's some questions? So remember, these are the ways that we can ask. Is there a place? Is there a park around here? Is there a park close by? Is there a park nearby? Where is the park? Where is the church? How do I get or go to the park? Okay, so make a sentence about just one sentence. You can pick the first one, the second one, or the third one, and ask about something like, is there a park around here? Is there a church? Is there a university? Is there a hospital? Is there whatever? So make a sentence. As you make your sentence, I'll show you some example. Is there a park in the city? Is there Woolies, Woolworths in the city? Is there a zoo nearby? Is there an Italian restaurant around here? Where is the famous Oxford University? Is there a stadium close by? How do I get to the library? Where is the shopping mall? So who has a different question? Clayton. No time to think. Very quick. Different to these questions. What would you ask? If you're a tourist in this place in England, what would you ask to find out directions to go somewhere? Where is the supermarket? Yeah. Where is the supermarket? Yeah. Where is the church? Yeah. Where is the closest church? Sometimes because there's many churches, especially in Adelaide, we have so many churches. So you can say, oh, excuse me, can you please tell me where is the closest church? Because you want to walk, you don't want to go too far. So can you please tell me where is the closest church? Good. Anyone else have a question that they can ask the local people? Jonathan?
Is there animal park?
A zoo. Do you mean a zoo? We call it like a zoo. Yeah? Like we usually have like a dog park. Yeah, so that's the only one. You can't say animal park, it's only dog park. So sometimes there's a park, there's one in the city, you can just let your dog, it's for dogs, but it's called a dog park. Yeah, I don't think any other animals, unless you want other people's dog to come and, because the dogs are going to be free. So we only have a dog park or a zoo or just a normal park. So if you want something else with animals, is there a zoo? But yeah, dog park. Yeah. Good. Is there a dog park around here? Remember, is there a dog park nearby, close by? Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, where are the toilets? Now it's plural toilets because obviously there's male, female. So where are the toilets? That's a good one. I'm going to add that one. Where are the toilets? Or we can say the bathroom would be where are the bathroom? The bathroom is singular. Where is the bathroom? So you can say where are the toilets or where is a bathroom? Good. That's a very good question because a lot of people when you're on tour, you forget that you need to, know where to go. Local people don't worry about these things because they're going to their home and to a place. But as a tourist, you're walking around all day. So where are the toilets or where is a bathroom? So bathroom is singular, but toilets, we always use it in the plural. So we need to make sure. Good. Okay. So as long as you know that that's 3 ways that you can ask about a place. So I've made 3 good sentences for you. You could just add the place in here. Okay, let's talk about some vocab. So we have some words like, I've got some sentences from 1 to 6. Can you go to the post office and buy a stamp? What's a post office? So I've got which one? F. You send letters and packages from this place. Yep. So 1F. Yep. So we're looking at the bold letter. That means like in black. So a post office, yes, is you send letters and packages from this place. 1F. I live in a city with lots of different communities. Communities, nationalities, and groups of people living in a city. Indian, Polish, English, Colombian, Brazilian. Yep, 2B. There are parents with preschoolers in the park. What is preschoolers? Yeah, young children before they go to school. Pre means before, and school means school. So preschoolers, before school. I'm not very well. I need to go to the medical center. What's a medical center? A place to see a doctor. You can say a medical center or a medical clinic. Or I need to go to the doctors. So you've got a couple of words you can use. Medical center, medical clinic, or I need to go to the doctors. When you make a cake, you use different ingredients. The different things you add together when you cook something. Sugar, eggs, flour, whatever. Stop when the traffic lights are red. What does traffic lights mean? E, lights on the road to control the traffic. Yep. Okay, let's watch a video and we're going to answer some questions from the video. So I'll play it maybe 2 times. In the first time when I play it, we're going to look at, you have to put a tick next to the places that you see, that you hear in the video. Was there a university, a church, a school, shops, mosque, bus stop, a train station, a post office, shopping, sports center, restaurants, park, hospitals, supermarkets, tourist information? You must know these places. If you don't, make sure you know them. Yes.
What is the mosque?
That's where the Muslims go to pray. You know the religion, Islam? Yes. So that's their, their mosque. Like Christians have church, Muslims have a mosque. Yeah. Any other, Kun? They're all pretty easy. Church, sports center, yeah. Okay, let's watch the video. What do you see? So those places, put a tick next to what you see in the video.
The city of Oxford is famous because
it's a busy road with a lot of shops and places to visit. There are lots of different communities here, including Asian, Caribbean, Chinese, and African.
Yes, there is. If you go to the end of the road and turn left, and then cross over the road at the traffic lights, and keep going about 50 metres, and the post office will just be on your right.
Yeah, there are some places. I mean, there are some choices, which is Italian, Turkish, Greek, and further pizza places.
There are several good places to eat around here. It's a good road for it. There's the Greek place just there. There's the Italian over the road. There is the American-style Atomic Burgers down there, who also have a pizzeria at the other end.
Yes, there is. There's a park just up the road here on Mansell Way. So if you just keep walking straight up here for about 5 minutes, probably across 6 or 7 streets, and then you'll see the park on your left just after the medical centre. And it's a park for preschoolers or for older children. So there's swings and slides and roundabout and seesaw, that kind of thing.
Sure. There are a couple of big supermarkets. If you just go back up Mansell Way and turn right onto Cowley Road, there's one on the right and then one directly opposite on the left. There are also a number of smaller supermarkets which sell foods from different countries. So there's a Greek supermarket, 2 Polish supermarkets, a Russian supermarket, and there's a fantastic one called the Oriental Store, which sells Chinese ingredients and all sorts. That's, I think it's 188 Cowley Road.
Sorry, Victor, I just saw the sound. So, number 1, is there a post office near here? Can we see how to make that sentence? When you ask a question, start with the verb. Unless it's a W, where, what, why, how, or is. Is there a post office near here? Number 2, is there a good place to eat near here? So remember, near here means close by. Like, I don't want to walk too far or drive. I just somewhere close. Number 3, is there a park around here? Number 4, how do so we've got to make sure we pronounce I very strong. Yeah, how do I get to the supermarket from here? Okay, let's watch the video again because you've got these questions to answer in number 6. And then we'll come back and discuss the questions. Okay, so we've got some questions that we should answer. We have, why is the city of Oxford famous? Actually, both A and B, because of the university, the Oxford University, and because of its history. So it actually has two reasons. So 1C. How does the first speaker describe Cowley Road? Now we don't say that must be in England. We just say, have you noticed in your writing when I cross off for the street? So how does the first speaker describe Cowley Road? Busy? Yes, busy. Where do you cross the road for the post office? At the traffic lights. So remember, cross the road, so 3B, means I want to go from one side of the road to the other road. I want to cross the road. And I can do that at the traffic lights. Which type of restaurants do the 2 men talk about? Yes, sorry, I don't know why I said 2. What types of restaurant? Italian, Turkish, Greek, American. Yeah. Where is the park? It's on Manzil Way, 5B. Where are the two big supermarkets? Opposite each other, 6C. So opposite means in front of, opposite. And which small supermarket does the woman talk about? Supermarkets, Greek, Polish, Russian, and Chinese. Good. Okay, let's watch the video again. It's a little short one which shows us some phrases or words, and we're going to see if we know what they mean.
The Cowley Road is in East Oxford.
If you go to the end of the road and turn left, and then cross over the road at the traffic lights,
So if you just keep walking straight up here,
There's one on the right and then one directly opposite. And there's a fantastic one called the Oriental Store, which sells Chinese ingredients and all sorts.
Fantastic. Okay, so now just with the person next to you, you're going to talk about your favorite place. Now, you've already talked about it because you wrote for me, but why do you like it? Is it in the north, south, east, or west of the town? So, for example, in Adelaide, I like Henley Beach. I think that's a nice area. It's in the west part of the city. And why do I like it? Because there's lots of little cafes and, you know, people are just out, not just going to the beach, but there's a place where they can walk around. There's lots of restaurants, gelati places, really good for families, not just adults, but for the kids. And how do I get there? Give you directions. If you're in the city center, you go to find Anzac Highway, then you go all the way down Anzac Highway. Actually, if you could take, not Anzac Highway, sorry, Sir Donald Bradman Drive. If you take that road, you go all the way down right to the end, and then you'll get to the beach. That was very easy directions. So in the city center, take Sir Donald Bradman Drive. It's a long road, and then go all the way down, and it goes straight to the beach. So it's very easy to get there. It takes about, from here, maybe 30 minutes, 25 minutes, I think. So yeah. Okay, so you're going to do the same. You're going to tell me, or sorry, to tell your partner about your favorite place. So I'll give you 5 minutes to practice that. So just with someone next to you. Yeah. Okay. And because we didn't do much practice, I'll start with Jessica. Julian. Julian. Yes. Jessica. Yes. So Jessica, tell me about your favorite place. See you tomorrow at the excursion. Yes? Perfect. Not in class. No here.
Are you sure?
Yes, this time I'm sure. Definitely. Huh?
This situation is possible.
No, not possible. No, 100%. Okay, I see you there, 6:30. 100%. See you. Tell me about your favorite place. Oh, where did it go? Tell me about your favorite place. In your city. Actually, I think you did. See you at the excursion tomorrow. Let me just have a look. So Jessica, tell me about
For example,
I think you wrote for me. So tell me about this place. If you want, you can write it or you can come on voice. And did Victor, you already left? Julian? And I'll just look at Amalaris. So my favorite city is Adelaide because of its landscapes and because it is very economical. It is very economical, maybe and easy to live here and easy to live here. Yeah, so my favorite city is Adelaide because of its landscape and because it is very economical and easy to live here. Beautiful. You're in Australia, Glenelg. Yes. So why? Remember to write favorite in the Australian spelling, British Australian. Yes. So why is this beach your favorite? What do you like about it? See you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I think I checked everybody's writing. I'll just make sure. So I see that I haven't checked. I haven't checked. Sebastian. Is this Sebastian? Yes, I saw now. I'll check it in a moment. Because there's a playground to play with my daughter and see the sea at the same time. Yes, beautiful. So because there's a playground, so when we want to give more information about a place, where my daughter can play while. So while means when you're doing one action at the same time like another action. Because there's a playground where my daughter can play while I see the sea. Or because see or while I look at. That's beautiful. And do you go by car or the bus? How do you get there? How do you get there? By car, by tram? I just really wanted to check Sebastian's first because I forgot to look at Sebastian's writing. So Sebastian, and you got a beautiful photo. My favorite town is Arjona, Bolivia. How do I? In Colombia. Sorry. Is the states. Arjona. Okay. Is the town. Barjona in the state of Bolivar. And where? Colombia? Yeah, so be very careful because I thought that was the name of the country. So how do you do that? If it's a state, you must say in the state of. So for example, I live in Adelaide in the state of South Australia. So because I got confused, I said, is this a country, Bolivia, which is a different country. So be very careful, comma, after the town or city, yes, but then you put the country, not the state. So my favorite town is Arjona in the state of Bolivar, Colombia. So good, I like you have capital letters. It has 80,000. You don't put the words. So either you just put the number because we say it in speaking, but you don't put the words. It has 80,000 inhabitants. Yeah, that's a big town. 80,000, yeah. Not bad. Yeah, kind of little. It does not have many places to visit, but in the month of March, the patron saint festivals are celebrated and it is visited by many people. At that time only or just in general? Is this place visited by many people in March or in general? In March. So I might put not and, where, or I might actually put a full stop at this time, it does not have many places to visit, but in the month of March, the patron, good, we capitalize the name of the month, the patron saint festivals are celebrated. At this time, it is visited by many people. And I love what you've got, celebration. Is that a cow or some animal? The bulls. Their typical food is very delicious. Yep, beautiful. Again, we say more the local food. Yeah, their local food is very delicious. Maybe, and it looks so beautiful. And the center of the town. I might say that because the local food is very delicious and the center of the town is a great place to hang out, like to spend time. And the center of the town is a great place to hang out. Good. Thank you for sharing that. Very beautiful. So again, important when you want to say the state of Bolivar, Colombia. So I think I checked everyone's writing. Okay. So, how do you get there, Jessica? So, do you drive there with your husband? Okay, so what we might do, I might use you as an example. Would you like to share what you were speaking about? So, yeah, would you, Jonathan? Yeah, so tell us what you were talking about. What place, what information did you just say? Yeah. Tell us.
Where is your favorite place? In Colombia.
I don't remember the name
Of the place?
of the place, but it's a buffet restaurant.
Yeah.
And you can eat.
Yeah, so it's restaurant and all you can eat buffet. Yeah.
Is now in this place,
Yeah.
you can eat Asian food.
Yes.
And I like because
Which I
which
love.
which I love because you can take the food, for example, the spear, and you dip or the shape, and he
We'll
prepare
prepare it. Yes.
in front of you.
Yes. So you can take the raw ingredients because they're not
Yeah.
cooked, as much as you want of whatever. So you fill up your own, whatever, and then you give it to the chef, and he will cook it for you on the spot. So we say on the spot. It means like right there. So he will cook for you on the spot. Good.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Question.
Well, your favorite
My favorite in Colombia. My
Colombia?
favorite place in Colombia is disco.
Is it what?
Discotheque.
Yeah, we say it's a club.
Club.
Is that what you mean? A bar? Yes. In Australia, we don't say any difference. Maybe like 30, 40 years ago. It's not common to say that. We say it's a bar. It's a club. Okay. So my favorite place in Colombia is a
It's a
bar.
club. It's a bar.
Yeah, it's a bar.
It's a bar.
It's a bar.
It's a bar.
Bar?
It's a bar.
Yes.
It's a bar.
Yeah.
It's a bar for dance.
Good dancing.
Only people professional professional dancer.
Yes, very specific. Only people who go there are only professional dancers. Or this bar is only for professional dancers. Wow. That means you're a professional dancer. It's good. Now we don't show us now.
With Richie. In that place.
In that place.
In
that bar.
That bar. At the bar. Is dance music, salsa music.
People can dance.
People can dance music, porro, music, country. Tango, bolero, different.
Yeah, perfect. That's your favorite place. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for that. See you tomorrow, Jessica. We have an excursion, so no class. Does everybody remember? If you come here, No one will be here. We have an excursion. So see you tomorrow at the excursion, Jessica. Yes, with your husband. Cool. Great. So see you, yes, 6:30. See you tomorrow at the excursion. No class. Okay, have a good night. See you all tomorrow. Yes, see you there. You're welcome. It will be fun, exciting. I can't wait. Good night, Jessica. Good night. See you tomorrow. Yes, 6:30. Yes, no worries. Good night, Jessica. No worries. Bye. Bye, Silvio. Bye, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you all soon tomorrow.